Hey everybody, welcome back to the FFP Alignment Podcast. It is the best day of the week. It's Thursday, it's right before Friday. Hopefully your guys' work week is winding down. If you can tell, I am in a new setting, kind of. I'm still in my apartment, but I am on this luxurious new couch that I just got. Um, I just got this couch. When was it delivered to me? Late last week. And it's from Costco, and it's just the couch of my dreams. I call it my big girl couch. It's what I've always imagined being in my house one day for a period of time. I mean, life changes, right? It probably will come a time where it's going to be in the corner somewhere and I'll need a bigger one for something else. But for right now, it's the couch of my dreams, and I got it from Costco. Did I already say that? Oh, and so is that plant. Look at this like big palm tree behind me. It's giving Art Deco. Okay, I'll stop that. But it really is. It's like really coming, my apartment is really coming together. Like I've said before, this is the first time, aside from my last apartment, which was the first time I was ever living by myself. And that's technically the first time I've been able to like really decorate and create a home for me without anybody else's opinions. And and then this apartment, now living with somebody, it was the first time I'm able to make a home with someone. Oh, that's so cute of me. And yeah, so all that to say, it's a bigger space and it's coming together piece by piece. This is a huge piece that, like, not only is it large, literally, but it's something that just is it's a big item, really. So it kind of makes a big statement, right? And then the plant I also got from Costco. I literally just said that. Just $15. Can you believe that? It's huge. Usually something that big is like $70, $80 at the plant store up the street. Love Costco. So this is the new podcast corner because I can now house all the cats comfortably and nobody's gonna bother me or get in my way, and it's great. It's really great of me. And then this week, this is all I talk about to my mom on the phone these days. But in 2 days, I'll be getting this cabinet that's going over in another corner. It's like a blank wall that's like really rectangular, so it's kind of narrow. So it's not a full-size wall, if that makes sense. But anyway, putting like a really cute cabinet there. It's like black with like beveled glass, and that'll be like a little bar cabinet, more storage, which we're starting to need, I hate to admit. But that is going to be another statement piece. I'm so excited. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with today's episode other than, no, I do. We're going to do our Reddit corner, but Caitlin's hot takes. And anyway, but I do want to talk about just kind of my life updates recently as far as my FFP journey goes. I have been in such a great stride recently. Kind of talked about it in the past about just how this new year has been different for me lately. There was something that like really switched for me, like mentally, that I am just really dialed in mentally. I'm done with the childlike temper tantrums that I throw when, internally, when I want to go do something or when I don't want to go do something, that either when I have to do something that is, part of my daily habits for all this stuff. And, like eating the last thing at night, and I just don't like eating that last little bit to hit my numbers, or finishing up my water intake, or just going to the gym, or hitting the on button on my treadmill, just to get the rest of my steps in. Those days are looking further and further behind me. Although, there's always going to be days where it's going to be hard to get the motivation and to get yourself up and do it. That's always going to be a part of life, right? So I'm not going to expect, that to ever go away. So maybe I need to say this in a different way. It's more like if I'm not doing those things, in the past I would just make excuses like, well, it's my period or it's something, and I would justify it as to like why. And it's hard to explain, I guess, is where I'm going with this. Is that it's just something's different lately, and the new year really was a big switch for me. So I'm really happy with how things are going. Dry February is going really well. We did do champagne and stuff on February 14th. Oh, have I talked about that? That was last week. Ooh, well, no, the last Minisode I recorded was the day before. Yeah, so, well, let me finish my thought. We are doing good with that, and it's getting a lot easier. There's like a couple of humps that I needed to get over, like being in situations where I would normally drink, or going, like I've said this before, like going and doing all the things that we normally would do, even if it's going to a restaurant, we would always sit at the bar. And I want to keep doing that and like be in the exact same situations, but do something different, because that changes my brain chemistry, right? Science, there's more where that came from. So it's gotten a lot easier, and it's like a lot less like, oh, I just want a glass of wine, pour me. So I really like where that's headed. And as far as, I'm just going to roll with how, after February goes, not necessarily, obviously the point is to not jump back into exactly what I was doing, but being able to say no a lot easier and stick with it, right? So that's going really, really well. And then, so February 14th, it was so cute. I know we said this last week, but we did a comedy show that night. I got all zhuzhed up, and that comedy show actually really was good. It was this guy called Jeff Allen, and he was an older guy and Christian guy. It was really clean comedy, which I really appreciated. And the whole time he was just talking about his marriage of 40, 50 years to his wife, and just the ups and downs that it brought, and his recovery journey from, I think it was alcoholism and probably cocaine or something else. He talked about that. And just the funny bits in that. And there was some, like heartfelt, serious moments. And he has this biography that he wrote. And it was really touching and funny, and also just refreshing that, one, he's been doing comedy for so long, and he didn't sell his soul, clean comedy, and it was really heartwarming, and I really appreciated it. It was really great for that day, hold on, I got an itch. Ooh. That day for like exactly what it was. But before that, Mark came home. I was in the closet changing, and he's like, "Where are you?" And I walk out, and he was like sitting, like leaning on the counter like this, like a little like boop, beep, boop, with his butt out. And there was like flowers and chocolate covered strawberries. I was right. See, I told you. I said that he's going to have chocolate covered strawberries because I wouldn't shout about it. He listens to me. Very thoughtful. Very thoughtful little guy. And we had some champagne and all that, and it was really great. I used to be, like I said, how many times am I gonna keep repeating myself? Oh my God. But like I've said, I used to be somewhat cynical about Valentine's Day, or just like, ugh, so dumb. It's a whatever you call it, a Hallmark holiday or whatnot. It's for the people who are trying to make $1. Like, well, Yeah, I still believe that, to be honest. But also, why not just use it as an excuse to get the flowers, do something a little different, even if it's just for yourself. I highly believe in that. I used to do that when I was single. I was just kind of like, even if I was still doing nothing, it was still something different out of my routine, just to feel like treat yourself, you know? But yeah. So anyway, let's get into it. There was some Ask Reddit questions that I wanted to do. Let me get to it here. Kind of like Caitlin's hot takes. I know everyone loves my opinion. They're just like, Caitlin, why don't we hear more about your opinion? Caitlin, like, we love hearing you talk all day long. Caitlin, we need to know what goes on inside of your mind. Guys, I got you. I got you, okay? Anyway, so there were some Ask Reddit questions that I thought would be kind of fun to answer. I can't remember if this one I'm looking at was from last week or not. Yeah, okay, this one is part of it. Question: what was the single best decision in your life? There's a lot that I was really decided to do, or decide, if that makes sense. But the biggest pivot, the biggest life-changing one was definitely getting a divorce. I would say that. And as difficult as it was, it's led me to where I'm at today. And I wouldn't change it because it taught me a lot of lessons. And it really depends on like the type of person you are when you go through tough times, right? When life's falling apart, that really shows like your character and just how you deal with your life in general and your level of growth and all that. And I can hope that the majority of the population are going to be the types of people that will take a shitty situation and learn from it, see the good in it, and see how you can make good of it and what you can learn from it, like I said. So that was difficult. It was very humbling as well, because I grew up in an environment that was, you don't date until you date the guy that you're going to marry. You don't have sex until you're married. You stay married. You work it out. You deal with it. You just get through it. It's just that that's just it, right? So having to come to the realization that like, oh, this is not what I expected. I wasn't that naive as much as people would think a 19-year-old would be. I highly expected it to be difficult. Absolutely. He was leaving for Afghanistan in like 4 months. I was going to be alone. I was expecting hard times. My head was not in the clouds, but that doesn't mean I didn't know what to expect. Like I couldn't predict the future. I didn't know what those hard times would entail. I can't read his brain, or I don't know him very well because, again, we got married really quick. But yeah, so if you can there's always good in a situation. There's always a positive you can find. There's always something that you can learn from a situation. And doing that throughout my life has really made those tough times a lot more bearable. It's like, oh, all right, well, if I'm learning this from this, it's not that bad. So, pro tip. This is a good one. We're getting into it. How true do you think once a cheater, always a cheater is? This is a hot take. I don't think there's a blanket statement for this. It can absolutely be true, but it's not always true. Oh, Caitlin, why do you say that? Well, I've been on both sides of the coin, okay? I've been through those situations and I've created those situations. You catch my drift. And again, that was during my marriage. And again, I am very happy with my decision, obviously, going back to the other question. Yeah, it really depends on the character of the person. It took a while for me to heal, and there were reasons why I did what I did. Not excuses to make it okay. There weren't justifications. There's a distinction there. It was never okay, don't get me wrong. But you can, like, looking at the psychology behind it, you should read, if you're like, Caitlin, I hate you. I'm disowning you now. You're an awful person. You should read the book. Oh crap, what's it called? It's by Esther Perel. It's called The State of Affairs. Really good. And she also talks about affairs in her other book, Mating in Captivity. And you almost kind of get a little bit of a rise out of yourself reading it, because it feels like she's talking about, like, defending the cheater, you know, but she's not. It's just the psychology behind why a man or a woman would cheat and what goes on, like the real reason behind affairs and all that stuff. And it just helps you understand the brain behind it, right? And so highly recommend that book. It's not justifying that it's okay or anything like that, but it gives it a lot of words to things you wouldn't otherwise know how to define. That's why I love her stuff. Really, really, really good. Plus her podcast, which I think has a new season out that I need to catch up on. So I think it's halvesy true, this statement, because I'm in a relationship that I would never fuck up like that. And I also do believe what is true is that when you meet the one that, and this is even after the honeymoon phase, after the infatuation phase, the rose-colored glasses are off, all of that, like you meet this person, you're like, oh shit, this is it. Like you kind of get that hit, that slap in the face, like, don't fuck this up. And I think because of my past, I still have all these dreams. I've talked about this with Mark. I still have all these dreams where I'm accidentally cheating on him. It's so bad. And that sounds awful because it's like in my dream, like, woohoo, I'm in this relationship. And a lot of the times it's my ex-husband that I'm like getting back together with, or I'm still married to, or something like that. And I'll just be like, this is great. And then like, as I'm going throughout my dream, if anybody here is listening as a dream interpreter, please like call me. I need to know. But I'll tell you why I think I'm having these dreams. But anyway, so I'm in these dreams going about my merry way, and I'll slowly like become more and more like aware of what's going on and remembering my actual life and what's really going on in my reality life outside of my dream. But in my dream, I think it's real, right? As you would. And so I'm getting back together with my ex-husband, or I'm in this other relationship, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm with Mark. What did I do? What happened? How did I mess this up? Where did he go? I want him. And I just have this like crisis. And then I'll like make sure I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, it was literally a dream. Oh my God. And like by the 8th time I've told him, like it's happened a lot. By the 8th time I've told him that story, he's like, yeah, it's weird that you're having these dreams. He's thinking it's like a guilty conscience. And I'm like, no, shit, I should keep my mouth shut. But I was like, no, what I think it is my subconscious saying, don't fuck this up, because we're going to show you how awful you're going to feel if you do, you know, like some like fake premonition. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling all that. All right. Ooh, next question. What is the best street advice you can give? First of all, like the first comment under this is like, don't engage with crazy people. Shut the fuck up. That means nothing. Okay, best street advice, which I don't even know what entails like street advice. I see it more as like, if you could say, I'm interpreting the question more as like, if you could impart one thing to anyone that could change their life forever, what would it be, pretty much? My answer would be read. Yeah. Knowledge really is power, and not power for bad, power for the good, obviously. And reading has definitely changed my life, and it's made me grow into a better person. Just absorbing knowledge is by far the best advice you can give anybody. Street advice, I don't know. Take some self-defense classes. Don't be afraid to kill somebody. I take that back. Don't be afraid to defend yourself. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, and don't talk to crackheads. Okay, next. There's actually one crackhead. A couple, actually, down the street. One of them's an alcoholic, but if you ever hear some yelling off in the distance, it's the alcoholic on the street. I live in a fine area, okay, everybody? Relax. All right, next. Do I want to do that one or do I want to do this one? I don't know how much time we have. Okay, let's do these other two. I'm going to skip one. Okay, this is actually kind of fun. What happens if you receive the news that there will be no internet service available anymore? What would you do? At first I'd be like, well, let's take a nap. I'm just kidding. There would be a weird sense of relief, but I would want to figure out what's going on. Like, is it forever? Is it just temporary? But then, you know where my mind would go? I would freak out. Not because I'm like, oh, I can't access Instagram anymore. I'm not going to get likes or whatever. People aren't going to see how beautiful and big my ass is. I don't care about that. What I would instantly freak out about is if the internet was no longer around, like the government is really taking control. Like it's happening, guys. This is the apocalypse. It sounds dramatic, I know, but honestly, like the kind of people that would have the power to turn off the internet, that would freak me out. Like, what are they doing? What's happening next? And then you can't share information as quickly as you would with the internet. You know, I don't know what's going on. Like some insider in, the CIA knows what's going on. They can't tell me. They can't make a TikTok video about that. That's what I'd freak out about. But if it had nothing to do with that, literally, that's what would be going on. That's why the internet would shut down, is because the government's doing something. We have too much power with this internet, us regular folk. Yeah. Mark my words. But if we're not being dramatic, I would be like, well, you know what, if it wasn't something like that, like in a perfect world, if the internet just kind of stopped, I'd be like, this is great. There'd be so much less stress in people's lives. Things would be simple, a lot less mental health problems, I'm guessing. Yeah. What do you think? Anyway, that was a fun one. I really wanted to answer that one. Okay, last one. This one's fun too. I like this segment. What do you guys think? I know you love it. All right, last one. What are the worst insults you can think of? I love this because this is what I dream about at night. #Scorpio. What I have found to be the worst insult is the non-insult. Like the lack of engagement, the lack of response, the lack of anything, We are human, and it is our instinct to defend ourselves, right? If somebody's insulting us or coming at us or whatever, yeah, I could think of some shit to say for sure. But really, the big trump card would be I don't want to be in the same room as you. I'll just leave it at that. Like, I really don't want to be around you. Even if it's a stranger. Like, it's in our human biology to be accepted by our peers, right? And the second somebody's like, I don't want to be around you, talk about earth-shattering for that person. At least it should be, unless they're a literal lunatic or like have some mental health problems, like they're a narcissist or something. I don't know, maybe it would affect them. But like that's my favorite move, and I've done it before. Oh man, should I tell that story? No, I'll do it another day. If you really want to know, call me. That's my worst insult that I could like throw on someone. It's just like, I don't want to be around you, or just like leaving, like telling them to leave. Imagine that, like when someone's making a fool of themselves or just like being super disrespectful to you, just be like, I need you to leave. Oh, the fire that gets up under their ass is hilarious because they defend themselves, then they spiral trying to like either backtrack or downplay it or whatever it is. That, I love that, man. That makes me feel like powerful when you're just like, please leave, like go. I don't want to be around you. No one else does. That human psychology, that's where you go. But yeah, the more you know, right? Anyway, that was the last question. And I love those. What do you guys think about them? Please let me know. And next week, let me think. Oh, we have a guest next week, Deanna. She's a gem. I've virtually met her. She's been a colleague of Casey's from a long time ago in the bikini competition world. But her and I talked and did a little interview, which I got to edit still, but it's really, really good. We're talking about how to take inventory of your energy. And I love that. Anybody can learn from it. It's really all about, the self-awareness that you can harness and the energy that you have in order to give to the world and then to receive as well. So it was just such a great conversation. We went on a bunch of tangents because we just clicked really well. That was the first time I've ever met her and had a real conversation. So it was just really nice to click with somebody virtually that you've never met before. But stay tuned for that episode. What else do we got going on? We need the FFP News Corner. I don't think there's anything else, but other than, March is coming up, so have a great March. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to hearing from you guys. Please like, share, and review all of your favorite episodes. That would be delightful. But anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.